Hello and welcome everyone to We'll Be Right Back, the future of hospitality. On We'll Be Right Back, we interview people from every corner of the service and hospitality industry, as well as representatives from organizations providing relief and resources as we learn how to manage and settle into this new reality after COVID-19. I am your host, Greg Tilton. Today I am joined by Jordi Figueras, founder and owner of Insanitea. It is a wonderful kombucha company local here in New Orleans. Jordi, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Hey Greg, thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely, man. So please introduce yourself, introduce Insanitea.
Okay, so my name is Jordi Figueras. I'm originally from Spain. And I moved here to New Orleans like 10 years ago. Right now it's going to be in the summer. And yeah, when I moved here, something that really attracts my attention, that captivates me was kombucha. It was like a new product that I didn't know, it didn't exist in Spain. After been brewing like for fun and in my house, trying to get like all the good things from the probiotics and trying to get like different palate flavors depending on how I brew, I started Insanitea Kombucha. That's a small brewery located here in New Orleans that we are trying to use as many local products and traditional methods of brewing.
Awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about the weeks leading up to and kind of the early weeks of COVID-19? Obviously, many people know around mid-March, shelter in place started. What did those weeks look like leading up to and through kind of these early stages?
So for sure that there were weeks where you could see, like maybe not here in America, it didn't hit yet, but you could see China, Italy, Spain, part of Europe. It was clear that COVID was something that at some point was going to arrive here in North America. So as a brewery owner and founder, it was always about this, like keep doing my day-to-day operations, keep like your business working, but just in the other way, other side, seeing like all the storm that was coming, always trying to understand what's next step to do and what is happening.
So what adjustments have you had to make at Insanitea, whether it's your day-to-day operations or your staff? What's kind of been your strategy?
Yeah, so the strategy, for sure that it's been like, we've been less busy. Some of our employees that they were hourly rate, they're getting less hours. The second way, the way that we try to understand what was happening and what could we do for keep selling the most that we could, it was we kind of tried to potentiate growlers instead of like the little bottles. It's been like, it's time to be home. It's time not to be in the store. It's time to get less things. I feel like it's time to consume less carbon print, to do less interaction. So we thought that, like growlers, it was like the format that it was making more sense for this crisis. And I will say that that's been like the biggest change, like trying to move our core business from like a 16-ounce small bottle to more like a 64 ounces growlers, that it's kind of like a weekly family style, that it's like if you're a kombucha drinker, you have it in your fridge and you keep using it, you keep drinking it in the way that you want, you feel it.
I know another interesting element of your change has been you did a little more wholesale in-person deliveries prior, but you've actually been transitioning more towards retail even during COVID. Can you talk a little bit about that experience?
Yes, totally. So yes, you say one of the aspects of this pivoting, it's been to go directly to the consumer. We used to sell our product through like small bars and restaurants. So that was kind of our core business. And when COVID hit, we found that all our clients, they shut down from one day to the other. So we were technically kind of out of business. So what we did to try to mitigate this problem, it was just to open an online store, change the format, try to market the new product. It will be like the growler. And that's been kind of like our surviving strategy. Plus, we've been fermenting a bunch of other products from like local farms and offering in our website too. We thought the same for efficiency, that it wasn't making that much sense to just like sell kombucha, and we wanted, kind of mitigate like the price of the delivery by offering different products and being able to sell like bigger amounts, quantities per order.
Obviously, people are not going to the grocery store as frequently. They're probably more focused on kind of core necessities, a lot of home cooking and things like that. How is your business done on the retail side?
We feel like that grocery stores are down, at least for us. I've been hearing from a lot of other CPG companies, colleagues, that they are happy with the demand that they're having actually. But yes, as we see, it's not working as well as it used to work. However, the direct to retailer has been working pretty well. So yes, I mean, we're trying, to substitute one revenue line for another one. And that's how we're doing it.
And do you feel that as you move forward and the city and the country starts to open up, you're going to stay more retail focused, or are you going to kind of flip back to more wholesale?
That's a good question. I think I'm not sure if I have an answer for that right now.
Hmm.
I really want to see what is like the behavior of us once we come back to this normal reality, normal life. I'm not sure. I think that it's all about be able to adapt to the new times and maybe understand business in a different way. So all I can say, I'm really happy to see our community supporting us. In exchange, we need to do delivery. It's a little bit more work for us, but that keeps us busy and happy. So I don't think that that's a revenue streamline that we're gonna lose it once this new reality. So probably we're gonna keep doing our retailer around New Orleans, and then keep working in our wholesale strategy.
Sure, that makes sense. So, what are some of the challenges you've had with sourcing and production? What does your production look like right now? What measures have you had to take with your staff? Are you able to get all the ingredients you need?
First, we just been like one person at a time on the kitchen. That was like the first rule that we put it. That's been kind of, making our cost more expensive, our efficiency going down, mainly what none of business owner wants. So that was the first one. Then we used to brew every week. Right now we are brewing every couple, 3 weeks. We feel that our demand is way low in comparison where we used to be. And we need to take care of all the deliveries, all that is working with the website, back end, person to person, communication, sales, invoicing, charging. So it's been a few changes that they need to be done, that we've been doing it. But yes, we feel that it's all about adapting and being able to make that changes on time.
I'm really glad to hear you've been able to keep that going. I know a lot of CPGs have faced various problems, but I remember you mentioned in your call one of the benefits of doing kombucha is that it's relatively stripped down ingredients. You're not quite as dependent on a lot of importing of things. You can kind of make do with what you have in your community.
Yes, that's right. And yes, I think that it's gonna be time for experimenting with new flavors, and yes, be more loose on
So you talked a bit about these collaborations you've been doing and also ones that are possibly in the pipeline. You've talked about working with River Queen and other groups. Can you talk a bit about that?
I mean, I think that it's something very beautiful that happens from this COVID. It's been that retailers, they had the obligation to, offer their products directly to consumers. I feel that this ecosystem that I'm talking, it's kind of like the same people that we used to do, like the farmers market. COVID happened, like we were afraid that by only depending on farmers market in the way that they implement their farmers market, it will be not enough for every producer. So a lot of these producers, they decide to create their own CSA. So a CSA is nothing else that is like getting a share of what you produce in your farm. For example, River Queen, every week they offers like a share, not every week it's going to be the same, but it's going to be, just for giving an example, a bunch of carrots, a few zucchinis, whatever is on season, and usually with this bug, it's pretty good for a couple persons for a week. So what I've been doing is like working the kombucha or trying to put our kombucha to all these CSA boxes. So currently we are with River Queen. They have us as an add-on. So like when you do your weekly order, you can pick up some of our products there. Basic Co-op put our products every couple of weeks or whatever on their CSAs. Right now, Sneaky Pickle is going to start like offering kombucha, growlers kombuchas. The same with Capulet. I think Capulet is starting next week. A crazy market. It seems that they're going to really try to do it very well. It's going to be a market plus pre-cooked things, plus, like small producers, products, things like that.
So, what is the future of Insanity looking like? What lessons have you learned? What new practices will you keep going forward? I also know you talked about possibly launching some new products. I don't know how much you want to get into that, but what's your story moving forward?
What's the future is looking like? It seems like kind of hard to be clear and focus on that. We want to be like a small kombuchery that does like quality brews, artisanal brews with local ingredients and local products. So that's still been our mission. That's what we still want to do it. However, for sure that what we learn, it's been like to create a business that is sustainable and it's resilient to like as many crises as possible. For that, it seems for us that being local and like people to understand that they're not drinking like this kombucha brand. If not, they're helping Jordi and Jordi help this guy. Or this. It's not about Jordi. It's about like the community that you are creating behind a product. And the impact that has. Like I feel that's every day it sounds more clear, and I want to really figure out like the way of like making a business that is resilient on crisis, similar to this one. And yes, the future, we're trying to be local. We are trying to sell growlers, and hopefully, since we've been doing an investment of having like a small brewery, probably we're gonna launch like few different products in the future. But yes, that's something that's still, I don't want to say anything because it's still far away.
Well, it sounds like you have your hands full, but it also sounds like you're doing well. It sounds like that you're asking the right questions, you're making the right changes, and I look forward to having some Insanitea myself soon again. I need to get out there and support you, man.
Fucking right. I agree on that.
So give us some shameless plugs, man. Where can people find Insanitea, whether online, whether in their stores? Where can they find Jordi?
If anyone still didn't try Insanitea Kombucha, I want to give a chance. Please feel free to go to our website. From there, you can do, if you are in New Orleans, you can buy it, and you guys going to have like a delivery every Friday. We do delivery. If not, we are partners with like a lot of the cool bars and restaurants here in town. So feel free to go to Sneaky Pickle, Capulet, Highball, Daily Beats, Laurel Bakery, Lamar when it's open, Pagoda. You can check in our website, for our locations. If you are curious, feel free to try it and let us know, what you think.
Awesome. And are y'all on Instagram or anything?
Yes, our Instagram is Insanitea Kombucha and our website is insaniteakombucha.com.
Awesome. These will, of course, be in the show notes. Jordi, thank you so much for coming on. For those of you who don't know, Jordi and our wonderful co-producer Barry are fiancés, and Jordi is a wonderful human being. I've had the pleasure of hanging out with him and dining with him. And Jordi, it was just such a treat to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Greg, and anytime.
All right, man. Well, looking forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you so much for listening to We'll Be Right Back, the future of hospitality. Each episode, we will be highlighting a different organization contributing to the relief effort here in New Orleans. This episode, we would like to highlight the Made in New Orleans Foundation. Mino envisions a New Orleans hospitality industry that leads the world in growing, supporting, and financing the success of people of color. They use a multidisciplinary approach to address and eliminate disparities facing hospitality professionals of color. In response to COVID-19, Mino is providing immediate emergency financial aid and resources, supporting career and business recovery, and providing online programming to amplify the voices of hospitality professionals of color. To learn more, head on over to minofoundation.org. That's MINO foundation.org. We'll Be Right Back is produced by me, Greg Tilton. My co-producers are Barry Schwartz of My House Events and Elizabeth Tilton of Oyster Sunday. Barry and Elizabeth are offering incredible resources and services during this time through their New Orleans-based businesses, as well as collecting and sharing various initiatives by other individuals and organizations. All of these are linked in the show description, so please make sure to check them out. You can follow us on Twitter for the latest updates and to let us know what's up, @RightBackNola. Please also consider leaving a review for us on whatever podcast platform you fancy. It helps us know what you think, and it helps people find the show. Our cover art was created by Eugenie McClellan. Our show's music was produced by Sarisu. We have links to their work in the show notes, so give them some love.